Hello everybody, what's going on? My name is Sir Medieval and today we're going to be discussing some Kritika online. As you can see, I am playing as a galactic disciple. I got my way up to level 50 and overall the game itself is pretty enjoyable. I will say it's basically a dungeon crawler. It's not really an MMORPG by any means, not even an MMO really. It's more like a lobby-based dungeon crawler is what this game basically is. But the combat in the game is pretty seamless. That part is fun. However, the missions themselves are really fast, like crazy fast, and super easy too. You could probably take a boss from like a 100 to 0 in the span of like, 30 seconds or less kind of thing. So it's kind of crazy in terms of the grind itself because it's so easy, because you have to do these missions so many times at a certain point. You are able to level up pretty quickly through the levels. I've spent probably a couple days on this character since I last streamed and got to level 50, but that did take some inside knowledge from other players that play the game and people in the community that gave me suggestions on that, what to do. But we're going to be showcasing this today. I want to show you guys a little bit of this combat and show you what I'm talking about a bit. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And there is a couple classes that I want to take a look at as well for you guys, but we'll do that in just a second here. Here we go. All right, let's do this. So as we talked about before, there are several different classes that you can choose from, but on top of that, there are several different specializations that you can actually go into. Me as a galactic disciple, I actually specialized in a little bit of mid-range combat, which means that my character as a baseline is a monk, which means that they specialize in fighting, but the galactic disciple specialization allows me to use ethereal projectile attacks at the same time. So you'll have different ones like this monk right here that I'm playing, this berserker looking guy right here, as well as another one of them. I don't remember what she is. I think she's like a reaper assassin, something of that nature. And then you've got another monk right here. Looks like he's probably using a different spec, but he's got a really nice looking outfit. Love it. And then you've got some other classes like that as well. This is the new archer class that they came out with recently as well. There's also a level up event going on for her right now. So if you want to jump into this game at any point and try it, might as well give it a shot. But these the skills themselves, like the stuff that you get access to, it's all very satisfying and fast paced. I really wish that there was content that was harder than the average amount that we have in this game and required you to actually group up with people to take it on. You'll be basically spending most of your time in terms of these hubs here. You'll be spending most of your time in these. This is just like one of the main cities that you have access to, where you can go around buying stuff from merchants and buying potions to heal yourself or keep you going mana wise. But most of the time you don't actually need to even buy weapons and armor from the town, because the weapons that you get and armor that you get from the quest line is already so good by itself. Oh crap, I need to salvage some stuff. Hold on. And they've got some events going on right now. Of course, this Christmas event is going on right now where they have this decorated salvage merchant. Oh, hold on, I gotta put in my secondary password. There we go. Yep, and I can just go ahead and salvage all this stuff. We probably won't need it. Yeah, this is pretty much just, saving up for end-game stuff. You really don't need this at all. You can just basically salvage and scrap all the rest of that. But there is, raids and stuff like that in the game that I've seen. I've seen a couple people doing them, but for one that I really saw a few days ago, that person was doing it solo. So I don't know how difficult they are, but it doesn't seem like you necessarily need a big group at all. Which is kind of sad. I wish that, we had some difficult content in this game, because I think it could definitely hold you over for a little while longer if it had that challenge factor. But, some people, if you want like an easier time, in a game and whatnot, you don't want to go too hard on it. You just kind of want to be laid back and casual about it. I think you could definitely enjoy a game like this for sure. The combat's pretty fun as well, which we're going to jump into in a second here. But I wanted to show you a little bit about the town first and show you a little bit of the classes that you'll come across. And also, there is PvP in the game. There's both the Guild Wars and there's also the tournament. I'm trying to find the button for it right now, actually. Well, this is one of the buttons, basically, where you can actually bet on who's going to win in terms of the Guild Wars and then also the PvP tournament. So you can do that and then, have a chance at winning, which these coins you can use to, for trading and stuff of that nature, that currency, basically. And then also, of course, in terms of the cash shop, it's pretty simplistic. However, there are a couple key points that people do take concern with when it comes to this game. Mainly that the actual costumes themselves, this stuff can actually give you stats. Now I was able to get these through the starter pack actually, but yeah, you can choose which stats you want to have on these. Now, the stats themselves, they are definitely going to give you an advantage, but since this is like a PvE game, it's not really something that I would personally consider, you know, pay to win, because let's be real, you're spending most of your time in this game just soloing, so who are you necessarily winning against? That's the main thing. That's the thing that kind of separates pay to win games from, you know, just regular standard free to play games, is when you have a game where you can actually buy your way to max level, and then let's say you're putting two people side by side, one person spent like 6 months trying to get to where they were, and then you got another person who dropped like $300 coming in, and those people go toe to toe, and then the $300 guy wins. That's something like, you know, probably consider pay to win, but there's debates and stuff like that. Everybody has different meanings on it, but take it for what you will. If you think it's pay to win, you know, it's absolutely up to you. I don't think it really matters. It's a free to play game, so, you know, they got to make their money somehow. But yeah, the stats that it gives, you'll see things like extra critical hit, but it's like 60 points. You'll see like 3% attack speed and stuff like that. It's not a huge amount by any means, but it is a thing. And then also they do have consumables and stuff like that. That stuff is probably a little bit more on the you know, extreme side, where you can get different kinds of keys and stuff like that for loot boxes and whatnot. Now the pets themselves, there is a pet system, and it can give you extra experience as well to have pets, and you get bonuses from them, and you can have up to 2 of them like I have right here, and most people try to unlock those as soon as possible. But you also need pet food to feed them, and you do get the ability to get different you know, experience potions and stuff like that as you level up throughout the game. That stuff mainly comes from the event that's going on right now, but you might be able to get them in different ways, who knows. But you know what, I've talked enough. Let's go ahead and jump right into that combat. Let's do one of these missions here, okay? Jumping right in. Looks like we just have to do this one now, Leon High Street. So these ones are going to be less of a dungeon, more of like a city battle, it looks like. We'll do about 1 or 2 of these just to showcase what it looks like from these ones too. Now, one thing that it can remind you of too, it can remind you a little bit of Phantasy Star. Do you see that 96k crit there? My God. See, that's why I leveled those skills up. Oh my God. And just hitting somebody with that, like in the face, would hurt a lot. Seems like they've got really cool, really quick cooldowns too. My number 2 ability especially. I'm glad I picked that one because this is one I use just a lot instinctively and don't even realize sometimes. Okay, so we just follow the yellow markers usually. Question marks. That's what I like though. The fact that even when they die too, you can just keep on comboing and hitting them. So awesome. Really makes it feel intense, I gotta say. That's a combat system done right for sure. And that's the little things that really matter. Goodbye. Looks like a mini boss. Crap, I hate when I miss my my upper kick and then it just doesn't connect. It doesn't let me finish the combo because it looks so cool when it's finishing. This one. Okay. Oh, be careful to try and kill the make sure to try to kill the bosses as fast as possible too, because if not, they'll enrage, which is of course not going to be good for anybody. Gotta get that back attack. That was a crazy crit. All right, there we go. All right, next rewards and next stages, and then we're all good. But yeah, it's, you know, it's pretty much this, like, majority of the whole way through. You don't really get, you know, anything different from this point onward. it's a lot of the same until level 70, and then that's when you can get into like the higher tier content, but that's when it becomes like a real grind as well, because it won't all be smooth sailing. You won't be, you know, just be able to get up to that point and then, you know, be able to just grind out a few dungeons a day or so. I mean, you definitely could. It's just that it's going to take you a while to get to the point where everybody else is too. So one more time. Okay, so right now I'm in the Tomb of the Pirate King. This is one of the main quest lines that I have currently. Okay, that was a little laggy. I gotta get back in the swing of this really quick. Hold on. All right. The combat gets really crazy though. It's nuts. You got so many combos that you can use. Especially as a Galactic Disciple. Now, one thing that's cool is that if you use a monk, you'll notice that, I don't know if, I think all monks have this, but if you right click, use this ability, it actually turns enemies around. So you can actually use that on bosses too, which is really nice. Because if you attack an enemy from the back, you get that back attack bonus like you just saw right there. Gives you a lot of bonus damage. Well, I was trying to do it on this guy. There we go. Oh, he's deleted. Just gone. But yeah, the way that the questing works, it's kind of weird because what happens is that, let's say if you're doing a main quest, so it basically tells you first to go into a dungeon. It'll tell you to either, you know, like gather something up or kill people, kill some specific, you know, mini boss or something like that. But then the main quest, the next one, will probably have you go back into that very same dungeon. So you pretty much are going to be going through the same mission like about 3 or 4 times before you get done with the actual stage of the main quest that you're on, which is kind of interesting because it's not the same every time. You know, sometimes you'll have these invaders that come in, which are like mini bosses, but a little bit more extreme in that regard. But you also have different things like, you know, random events that pop up, or if you do have the intruder buff on, where you can basically like have a higher chance of getting that intruder, that would be a thing. But then there's those other mini bosses do have a chance of appearing. But then, like I was saying, the boss, we got to the boss in like 0.2 seconds. Each boss is different. Like, they do have mechanics, but since you can CC them, it doesn't really matter. Unless you get a rage mode like that. Usually I'm better at killing these guys. Faster, at least. There we go. Sometimes you got to learn what they can do first, though. All right, and then pretty much stage cleared. And keep in mind, that was on hell difficulty, like you might have seen before we went in here. So that was the hardest difficulty that there is, or supposedly the hardest difficulty. But obviously in here, that was very quick, very easy. And then at the end of this, you can basically, you know, complete your quests. This is where you can get some new ones as well. Most people just kind of skip through this. I'm already level 51. And then, like I said, I got the next main quest. Looks like I'm able to complete these very quickly for some reason. I'll take it. A little bit of lag today, it feels like. I just skipped through the cutscenes. I mean, come on. And the cinematics or dialogue. And then you can also salvage from here. So if you have some extra stuff that you don't want to have in your inventory, just pop it right in here. Click that all button. It's like we talked about before. You only need the quest items when it comes to weapons and armor. Then just salvage those bad boys and you're good to go. Now you got to make sure that whenever you're leveling up, and this is something I had to get used to, definitely had to get a couple of reminders before it was second nature to me. But anytime that you level up, just keep on checking this button right here called level up in the bottom right. This is if you're doing the event and stuff like that too. But I think this is just something that always shows up. But these potions that you get for every 10 levels will give you an extra increase to your level. So this is something that you want to use when you get to like level 65 or so, because at that point, that's when stuff starts to get really, really grindy, and you need to make sure that you have, you know, those potions to make it easier to get through that stuff. So the golden pier. Oh yeah, this is what I have to use my what's called exceptional skill on. I just gotta, when I got to level 50, there's this quest that you get to awaken your class, and basically what happens is that at that point you get the ability to get different effects, completely different effects on your skills. And there's only certain ones that I've seen so far that we can get, but they look really, really cool so far. Looks like she's helping out. Sometimes you'll have that happen where you'll have like random NPCs get in there to help you out. I've noticed that sometimes it happens on like really, I guess, the more difficult missions, which overall there's really not a lot of difficulty to them, but it's like they do it on the first mission that you do. So like right now, since this is my first run through here, she's going to help me right now, but then the second time I'm in here, she's probably not going to be in here the same way. Alley-oop. Okay, that dude had a lot of health, but I'm just going to run through this one. I don't have to go through that extra area right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. It's usually better and more efficient just to go for the main quest, and I had to learn that the hard way as well. You don't even need to worry about the side quests. Like, I have a bunch of those that I don't really worry about at all. But if you want to, you know, completionist-wise, you could. It's just you don't necessarily have to. Like, by the time you get done with the main quest, you'll probably be close to or already at the maximum level. Dang, that looked like it hurt. Ooh, yeah. See, that was the training wheels right there. Oh, crap. I forgot to use my X skill. Remember that thing I was supposed to do when I first came in here? We didn't do it. I hope it completed it because I just used it on the boss's corpse. Maybe it probably won't. Yep, it didn't. Well, that's okay because lucky for us, we have to come right back in here anyway, so. Yep. Okay. Now the last one, Tomb of the Pirate, Old Pirate King, didn't have us come back into that one, which is interesting, but this is fine because we should be able to do this pretty quick. I'm just playing in an awkward position right now, so I can't fully execute my combos. But in terms of like class balance and stuff like that, overall, most of the classes are pretty useful. I mean, you know, of course, there's some classes that kill faster than others, but I mean, let's be real here. You know, we're mostly killing these bosses and stuff like that in 0.2 minutes, so you know, it doesn't really matter. I think this is like a game where you can actually play what you enjoy and nobody's gonna care, kind of thing. And it's really not gonna affect you that much. It'll save you. It'll, like, you know, either you save about 30 seconds or you waste about 30 seconds. But as long as you're having fun, who cares, right? It's all good. Okay, I'm gonna use that the X skill that I was talking about. It's on my Y key. That's what I need to use. Don't know if that's gonna complete it though. One thing I do like about this game, and this is something that actually frustrated me with, like, I forgot the name of the game. Oh my god. It's a game that released a while ago. It was mostly like PvP, but it did have some missions in there. Kurzspell, there we go. Okay, so this is something that frustrated me about Kurzspell, that I really like about this game. And it's basically that anytime that you knock something down, or knock someone down more specifically, they always have this like super armor, which completely makes sense, or invulnerability, but it lasts like unnaturally long though, is the weird thing. And in this game, you like after you kill something or after you knock something down, of course, you can just keep on with your combo, which is just really nice. Probably the reason that, you know, makes things so easy to fight in this game. But still, it's really, really a good touch. Goodbye. Let me see if I actually completed that quest. I don't know if I did, actually. Yep, it looks like we did. Okay, cool. So we just had to complete the instance, and now we're sweet. Yeah, most of the stuff that you get from these dungeons, unless it's legendary, you really don't have to worry about even considering equipping it. It's really not that big of a deal. For some reason, I'm leveling so quickly right now. Probably gonna have me come back in here a third time. Okay. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so we go back to town now. I guess that makes sense. It's only level 50 to 51, so that makes sense. Yeah, sometimes you'll get ones like this, but most of the time they'll have you come back in at least 1 more, 2 more times. But now we just go back to town, turn everything in, and we're good to go. Now I can kind of show you what the X skills look like, or extreme skills rather. But, hold on. Yeah, these pets help a lot. Same thing with this experience potion. It's really amazing. But, so essentially when you get your skills, and I should start leveling these up a little bit more, of course. But, you can start, you know, picking and choosing which ones you want to plus up and whatnot. You got to be selective sometimes because you never know what might be more useful. For me, I feel like these specific skills that I'm leveling up right now, the ones that I use the most, are probably going to be the best ones for me to level. And they do get special effects, of course, when you do level them up. So it's good to keep, you know, on top of that as best as you can. Whirlwind, absolutely. Interstellar. Actually, I don't use that one too much. I mean, I turn bosses around quite a bit, but this one, and yeah, Milky Way is like my go-to. Now these are the shadow-based skills, and there is a shadow-based spec, but I don't use these skills that often, so that's why I'm not entirely worried about leaving them right where they are. Now intact, I don't use that often, but sometimes if you level these up, they actually do get special effects, so it's good to consider that too. But I can't see any that comes from this one, so I guess we're okay. And I'm probably doing this wrong, guaranteed, but... Oh, that skill looks amazing. Climax. But that looks like a special skill. It definitely looks like something special. That one too. That's crazy. And this class, I'm sure it's reminded somebody of this already, but it reminds me a lot of Dragon Ball Z. I just can't help but feel that when I play this class. Now, Rising Star Awaken. Milky Way, that's the one that I need right there. That's my Awaken skill go-to right there. It looks really cool from the video that I saw, but it's not going to show us right now. Here we go. That's the X Milky Way right there. It looks really nice. But this is just going to allow me to awaken this so that I can, you know, get extra stats on it. So I'm going to do increase attack power because my Milky Way, if I make that strong, I mean, it's going to do some damage. And then my Rising Star, these are the ones where it gets really important because my Rising Star and my Milky Way are probably some of my most used skills. But there is a prerequisite for this because you have to actually, you know, level these up quite a bit before you can awaken them, kind of thing. Increase their attack power. I should probably increase Tailing Star as well because that is one that I try to use like off cooldown. So that's going to be a good one. I'm going to, you know, keep pursuing that one and then we'll be okay. But it looks like we can start moving down now. Go back to that NPC and see what he's got for us. Got it. Hey, buddies. Oh, he's dead. That move I kind of like too. I swear, I feel like I really made the right choice with the Galactic Disciple. Honestly, I'd say, just, you know, just go with your gut feeling. That's one thing that I can say about this game that's really nice, is that it's so easy to play that you really don't even have to care about class balance or what's the best. Okay. Oops. Like, I need to learn to aim. Got him. Okay, just keep following the storyline. That's all that matters. That's gonna hurt. Yeah, I know they're dead. What? Oh, I was gonna say. Okay. Then we got one more stage and we're good. And the boss fight. This one seemed kind of interesting, actually. He had some mechanics that probably would have messed me up had I not been able to move out of the way fast enough. Gah. Yep, goodbye. Once you get that damage over time going as well, it's just like their health just gets chunked. Absolutely chunked. But I think that's pretty much, you know, the best kind of impression we can kind of give on the game. You know, that's pretty much what it is. And it just, you know, you get what you get, and what you see is what you get, is kind of thing. It's kind of how this game is right now. So, you know, hopefully you enjoyed it. But if you want to give it a try, it is free to play. If you're looking for something to kind of burn time with, absolutely can recommend it for sure. It's on Steam as well, so be sure to check that out. You guys have a wonderful night. I'm going to go hit level 53 real quick, and then I'm going to go to bed. Have a good one, folks. Later.